Hi, good morning, everyone. So, the topic I select today to talk about is about your gut. And there's a reason I select specific topics. I spend days, in hospital meeting patients and out of hospital as well. And I like to select topics, that I come across every single day. So, over the last 1 week, I've seen over 60 to 70 people, and almost 95% of them with their problems can be and will be corrected by only looking and enhancing their gut health. Your gut is where most of your immunity starts. Almost 80% of your immunity starts in your gut. Right from detoxification, right from inflammation, right from neurotransmittal activities. And I'm talking about communication between your gut, your stomach, and your brain. The quality of your hair, the quality of your skin, the inability to lose weight, the reason why you put on so much of weight, flatulence, bloating, acidity, indigestion, diabetes, cardiovascular problems, Alzheimer's, cancer. Yes, like I said, 80%. So I could keep on listing all the possible issues that are actually just connected with your gut. And so, yes, we go for treatments and we rarely look at our gut health. If most of these issues start from the gut, the root problem lies in the health of your gut, and that's what we should be looking at. We should not be looking at more intensive workout programs. We shouldn't be looking at jumping from one diet to another, adopting diet practices from the West and changing our foods all the time and spending ridiculous amounts on superfoods and all of that stuff. We need to be looking at something as simple as your gut health. Well, to start off with, anything that affects your gut health affects your brain. Yes, I'm talking about Alzheimer's, I'm talking about brain cancers, I'm talking about epilepsy, I'm talking about seizures, I'm talking about attention deficit disorders, I'm also talking about certain cases and types of autism. And I'm going to explain to you exactly that connection between your brain and your gut. So as our parents are aging, or as we are aging, if we don't take care of our gut health, we are literally bringing on these problems of Alzheimer's and everything else. And yes, we have Google to show us that it's a deficiency of this vitamin and it's a deficiency of that vitamin, and we need to buy all these expensive supplements and all of these things. But by just correcting the health of your gut, you can prevent this. I believe that the human body is designed to heal itself. That is my vision. That is the unique selling point. That is what works, for us to put people with cancer in remission. That's how we get people to lose weight. If all of you out there think it's the diet plan that makes you lose weight, let me tell you right now, we just correct an imbalance in your cells. The inability to lose weight, any disease, is nothing but an imbalance of a cell. Think about it. When your hair falls too much, it's an imbalance of your cell. When your skin starts looking bad, it's an imbalance of several cells. When you start getting diabetes, when you start getting cardiovascular problems, those are all imbalances of cells. So you focus on balancing it and there is no disease. Everything else is just a term. What is arthritis? It's inflammation. What are cholesterol issues? What are heart attacks? It's all caused by inflammation mostly. And of course, most cancers, and then there are genetic as well. But getting back to the gut, let's talk about how you can keep a clean gut. But before that, we need to understand why it's so important. So just think about all the food that you're eating every single day. It goes through our stomach, it comes down into our intestines. Now, think of the intestines, the wall of the intestines. Think of it like a fishing net with really, really small holes. Now, this fishing net allows all the nutrients from the food that you eat, which has been digested, comes to your intestine. Now, those nutrients have to pass through that thin fish net into your blood. And your blood carries those nutrients along with oxygen to all those billions of cells in your body. So think of that fishing net again, small holes. Now, when you eat the wrong foods, or you eat too fast, you have too much of acid in your stomach, you don't chew your food right enough, it doesn't get digested, you send these large particles right down to your intestine. They poke holes in that fish net that we spoke about. Those small holes become bigger, and then you have things like protein molecules and toxins enter your bloodstream. They're never supposed to enter your bloodstream. They're supposed to stay in your gut. But because those little holes in the fish net have now become larger, because of inflammation, because of birth control pills, because of NSAIDs, which is nothing but non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs, I'm talking about pantacids, I'm talking about digenes, I'm talking about all your acidity medication, I'm talking about painkillers, I'm talking about excess caffeine, I'm talking about too much of refined sugar, too much of processed sugar, I'm talking about too many toxins. All of these make those little holes in the fishing net larger, and they seep into your blood. Now that's not supposed to be in your blood, so your immune system launches an attack on all of those particles, and that's when we move into autoimmunity. Diseases like Hashimoto's, type 1 diabetes, inflammation, rheumatoid arthritis. That condition is called a leaky gut, because your gut is allowing all these toxins and foreign particles and protein molecules to leak into your blood, a place it's never supposed to be. So now your gut consists of over 100 trillion different microbes and bacteria, good bacteria and bad bacteria. We need a perfect ratio of this good and bad bacteria because it helps you assimilate the nutrients from the food that you eat, transfer it across the little fishing net into your blood. That's how it works. Now, if you have the wrong ratio of this bacteria, if you have too much of bad and too less of the good bacteria, which is again caused by everything I just mentioned, excess caffeine, processed food, sugar, eating too fast, stress, too much of cortisol, antibiotics, painkillers, antacid medication, birth control pills, all of that. It decreases the good bacteria, and now you have more of the bad bacteria. When you have more of the bad bacteria, if you put your tongue out and you find that thick white coating on, you know you have anything from candida or yeast or infections in your gut. Losing weight becomes a struggle, and then you get frustrated, and then you start changing your plans and changing your nutritionist and going from doctor to doctor, pill to pill, spa to spa, where all you need to do is enhance your gut health. When it comes to disease, let's talk about depression. We all know that there's a deficiency in serotonin, so the doctor will give you an antidepressant drug. I am not against these drugs, but I need you to understand how it works. So an antidepressant drug will improve that quantity of serotonin, and that serotonin makes you feel happy for a while. And the effects of antidepressants is only temporary. Let me tell you why. Where is serotonin made? It is made in your gut. Serotonin is synthesized in the intestine. Now, if you have problems with your gut, you are not allowing your body to produce serotonin, which is so important for our moods, which is so important when it comes to depression, which is so important for us to handle emotions. So we are not allowing our body to produce what it produces best because we have an unhealthy gut. So we resort to an antidepressant medication that promises to boost serotonin, and now the body can hold only a little bit of serotonin, but we're getting it from an external source. So all of a sudden, we have more serotonin from an external source in our intestines, and that itself creates gut health issues again. So you see, almost everything starts from the gut. So when we look at cancers right from the brain to whatever, we look at liver diseases, we look at cholesterol, blood pressure, the first thing that we would do is clean your gut. We would encourage you to clean your gut, look after the health of your gut on a daily basis, because most diseases, if we're looking for a root cause cure, we start by cleaning your gut. And when we clean your gut, you don't only feel the difference, but you see it. And we need to understand, I am not against medication, but I am against the fact that we use it like candy. It's handed out like candy today. And then again, there are so many people who are on strong antibiotic courses, and they're not even asked to take a probiotic or to take a B complex, the very two things that antibiotics deplete. And when you have less of the B vitamins because it's depleted by antibiotics and less of the probiotics because that's what antibiotics deplete, you have an improper ratio of good and bad bacteria, which means your gut health is compromised. Which is why when we're on medication, we get those little muscle cramps, we feel that heaviness in our abdomen, we bloat. The very fact that you bloat, it is your gut telling you that I am unclean, I am unhealthy. Fix me. Listen to the biofeedback that your body gives you. And if you start investing today in your gut health, I can promise you prevention in most cases and healing in most cases. And that's what we should be investing in every single day. Prevention, and if we're already sick, we should be investing in healing. Now, there are many of us who will require to take medication for the kind of disease or the situation we're in. That's fine. but we also have to work at managing the collateral damage of those drugs or those treatments, be it chemo, radiation, antibiotics, or whatever it is. We have to invest in our body to manage the collateral side effects. So how do you keep your gut clean? Fortunately, it's very, very simple. As intelligent and complicated as the human body is, everything has been kept simple when we abide by the laws of nature. Number one, toxicity. We reduce the amount of toxicity going into our body. Now, a lot of things are not in control, like the air that we breathe, the pollution, contamination, food, which is why we detoxify regularly. And all of you who have been following me on Facebook or looking at my videos understand the importance of detoxification. We help our body reduce toxic overload through clean eating, through regular detoxes, through fastings, through a fruit to lunch kind of a challenge, through exercise, through sweating, through the right quantity of water, through the right probiotics. The second point is probiotics. Yes, we need probiotics. Now, you can find it in kefir, you can find it in sauerkraut, you can find it in yogurt, which has live culture. You can buy a great vegan probiotic, you can make them at home, but you need a probiotic every single day. The third thing that we need some proportion of raw food in our diet, because we get digestive enzymes and the good bacteria when we eat raw food. The moment you cook it, all of that is destroyed. So I'm talking about a carrot, a cucumber, maybe some raw onion, your nuts and seeds which are soaked in water overnight. These are all raw foods. So you can have cooked food, but you also have to have a proportion of raw food, because that looks after your gut health. And then again, reducing white sugar. White sugar is the poison. White sugar is the drug that we have to be careful of, because your body doesn't know how to handle it, your body doesn't know how to process it, and white sugar wipes out all of the good bacteria from your gut. So moderation, and do it with awareness. Excess caffeine, yes, from tea or from coffee. Excess caffeine creates inflammation in your gut. So if you're doing caffeine, make sure that you drink sufficient water, because it also acts as a diuretic. And again, keep an eye on your usage of antibiotics. So many things can be prevented if we look after ourselves. And even when we fall sick, make it a habit, make it a resolution that you will not just jump for that pill which is going to give you temporary relief and only treat your symptom. There are so many things that can make you feel better, which our earth has given us. Start exploring that, because the damage that antibiotics cause for you are irreversible. It damages your gut. So that's how you keep a clean gut. That's how you make a healthy gut. So now you think of yourself, if you've been sick, or anyone that you know that's suffering from cancer or any disease, even a migraine, and you get them to clean their gut. And I promise you, there will be a large possibility of healing. Everyone have a good day today. I'm launching the challenge in a bit, but right now I think you know what it's going to be about and what it's going to revolve around. Until next time, eat smart, move more, sleep right, and breathe deep. And yes, stress has a direct impact in your gut health, which is why when you're stressed, you feel that, you feel those kind of spasms in your stomach. When you're nervous, you're going to do a talk or you're going to do a show and you're nervous. What are those butterflies in your stomach? That's nothing but your gut sending communication to your brain. Your brain and your gut communicates all the time. In fact, you have a second brain in your gut. It's called your enteric nervous system, your ENS system. It is as real as your brain. So now think about cravings, think about all that communication that, all the cravings that you've been fighting. It just could be an unhealthy gut communicating with your brain in the wrong language. Have a good day, everyone.